And I went to Maryland and asked repeatedly two things which I've never been able to get answers on. One was, I said, what ended the Ice Age? And the lead scientist at NASA said this. He said that what ended the Ice Age was global wobbling. That's what I was told. This is a lead scientist down in Maryland. You're welcome to go down there and ask him the same thing. So in my second question, which I thought was an intuitive question that should be followed up, is the wobbling of the Earth included in any of your modelings? And the answer was no. So how can you have wobbling of the Earth, cooling the Earth, and not be included in any projection? That's one for the books that I'm a little bit confused about. How can you take an element which you give to the credit for the collapse of global freezing and into global warming, but leave it out of your models? I'm a little bit puzzled because we still don't have any metrics, I understand, of how to determine global wobbling, which I didn't know was part of the reason for the end of the Ice Age. The last thing I asked him, which I can't get answers to, is how long will it take for the sea level to rise 2 feet? I mean, think about it. If your ice cube melts in your glass, it doesn't overflow. It's displacement. I mean, this is some of the things that they're talking about mathematically and scientifically don't make sense. But I'm wondering, overall, when you have a model and you say we're going to leave out the most important impact of that model out of our theory and not talk about global wobbling, how can you make projections? So I'm concerned that while, again, you're saying Obama's not closing plants, you're correct on that note, which we here in Congress and other places take these words very seriously, but the policies will do exactly that. It will close plants, and it has in Texas, and it will around the country. And unfortunately, China, I know firsthand, is laughing at their own predictions. And with that, I'll let you respond. But if you have a model of global wobbling, please let me know, and let me know how long it takes the seas to rise 2 feet.
Congressman Stockman, I'm not going to talk about the economy of Spain. That's not my expertise, but I am going to talk about the science and help you a little bit with global wobbling to start with. Global wobbling, which refers to changes in the Earth's tilt and orbit, takes place on characteristic timescales of 22,000 years, 44,000 years, and 100,000 years. It is very slow. It brought us into ice ages. It brought us out of ice ages. When you take global wobbling into account, as I've already suggested, we would be in a cooling period now. But the warming inflicted by human activities has overwhelmed the effect of global wobbling.
But I was told wait a minute. None of the models have global wobbling in it. Is that true?
I'm about to explain why. The reason why is that global wobbling is a tiny effect on the time scale of 100 years in which we try to run these models to understand what's going on now and going on soon. It is so small. It is so small that you don't need to put it in.
No, you can't say it had a global impact and in this small both.
It had a global impact over periods of tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of years.
We're talking hundreds of thousands of years to end. How long did the Ice Age take to end?
Ice ages went on for hundreds of thousands of years, in some cases for millions, and they ended over long periods of time as well as a general matter.
Doctor? And sorry, I don't mean to step on anyone. It just says the chaos of today, everyone's going to be running on to other hearings. Mr. Weber.
Thank you.